Edo school resumption postponement to include higher institutions. President Buhari appoints Brigadier General Buba Marwa to head NDLEA. Federal government to establish 6 new modern custodial facilities. On entertainment, Dr. Dre released from hospital after brain aneurysm. And in sports, Semi Ajayi scores with a header as West Brom beat Wolves in Black Country Derby. Details of these and more after this break. I am Omoye Ogbeide. The Edo State government has clarified that the suspension of schools resumption is applicable to all educational institutions in the state. The government noted that the directive will be reviewed on Friday, February 1st, 2020, when the outcome of efforts to check the spread of coronavirus in the state would be evaluated. Secretary to the state government, Osarodion Ogie Esquire, who disclosed this in a statement, said the state government is taking drastic measures to limit the spread of the virus and protect lives and livelihoods in the state. He said the government is collaborating with communities and organizations on enlightenment and enforcement of new measures to ensure compulsory wearing of face masks in public, use of hand washing stations, restriction on religious and social gathering, and new guidelines for operations of markets, hospitality, and transport sectors. And President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of former military administrator of Lagos and Borno State, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired as chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, who confirmed the report while responding to media inquiry on Saturday, said the President had given approval to the appointment. Before his appointment, Marwa was the chairman, Presidential Advisory Committee for the Elimination of Drug Abuse between 2018 and December 2020, during which he presided over the development of a blueprint on how to end drug abuse in Nigeria. And the federal government on Saturday said it will establish 6 modern custodial facilities in the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola said this while inspecting the ongoing Model Maximum Security Custodial Facility project, Janguzu, Kumboso, local government area of Kano State. Aregbesola said the project was part of programs initiated by President Muhammadu Buhari to reform the correctional service. Speaking earlier, the Controller General, Nigerian Correctional Service, Ahmed Jafaru, said the project was designed with dormitories, schools, hospitals, skill acquisition center, and worship centers, amongst others. Jafaru said the project was planned to be commissioned this year, adding that the service had also upgraded the ancient Kumawa Maximum Prison into a rehabilitation center. And the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control has warned that it has not approved any vaccines for public use or received any application for vaccine manufacturers for emergency use authorization in Nigeria. The agency also warned that there are reports of fake vaccines currently in circulation in Nigeria capable of causing severe illness or death, and urged Nigerians to beware. Director General NAFDAC Mojisola Adeyeye, who gave this warning in a virtual news briefing, explains that the approval by WHO for emergency use of some of these vaccines was not enough, and therefore such vaccines must be subject to NAFDAC approval before they could be administered to Nigerians. And civilization around the world has been celebrating the start of each year for ages with goal setting and new resolutions. But how did 2020 experience shape this age-long practice? Stay here. Extra Voices comes with an answer in a moment.
In the ever-revolving world of news, one story becomes extinct the moment another major story breaks.
Market women don't know whether they be a need to.
But with KUFM's Extra Voices, the story never dies. It just takes on a new life.
There's no water in the house. The toilet is not good.
We don't have any fashion in APC.
We bring you new angles and fresh perspectives to every story, no matter how old or remote.
There are a lot of educated people that are involved in politics nowadays.
We go a little beyond the surface to get you those extra details ignored in the rush for the news.
Now bridge, now we take the entires now.
Some don't die for inside.
We go beyond the lines to bring extra voices, not just for those making the stories.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
But for those affected by the stories.
I've lost one bag of rice. Documents.
So it's a real disaster.
With extra voices, we add new flavor to give fresh perspective and taste to an old story. Extra Voices airs every Wednesday and weekends on KUFM's major news bulletins.
The anticipations and hopes that come with a new year are very inspiring that most people go on to set goals, make new resolutions. Like the beginning of every year, 2020 came with such high hopes for many Nigerians. However, many of those hopes, dreams and aspirations never saw the light of day due to disruption caused by COVID-19 pandemic and other unpleasant events. Now 2021 is here. What lesson did 2020 leave behind? And how has it shaped people's perceptions about setting goals and making New Year resolutions? Well, that's KUFM's Extra Voices first poser for 2021.
2020 remained like a dream to many people who kept on hoping that they will wake up to realities, hopes, dreams, and targets which they had set at the beginning of the year. However, it remained a wish as the year fizzled out in the most surprising way, leaving many helpless and hopeless. The coronavirus pandemic, the EndSARS protest, school closure, the sudden rise in exchange rate, and of course, double-digit inflation were all few of the experiences that left a sour taste behind.
Last year, 2020, there were resolutions and decisions, but not all came forth.
I had the resolutions for 2020, but I don't think I could do anything when it comes to the EndSARS, the pandemic and everything.
To be candid, I didn't achieve my goals for last year, not because of financial issues, but due to COVID-19 palaver. And to be honest, I'm yet to even recover from it.
I just started my business last year, so I think the major goal for me was to push it, make it more visible to people, so I've been able to get clients. COVID came along and it kind of messed up everything.
But while many continue to pick the pieces from the 2020 experience, others like Oyeyemi Agosu, Damilola Akinpelu have good tales to share of how the 2020 frustration was a blessing in disguise for them.
In the beginning of 2020, I set up a goal to save up to get another accommodation, and with all the crisis going on with the COVID and everything, with EndSARS, I was able to achieve that goal and get a bigger and better place.
In 2020, I was due for a 6-month course. My goal was to earn a good grade and possibly get an award at the end of the course in December. I finished well. I achieved my goal.
Last year, I actually set some goals. Thank God, I was able to achieve some of my goals despite COVID-19 disruptions.
For 2020, the only resolution I took was to become a better version of myself. And I'm happy that it came to reality.
Last year, 2020, I set several goals. Part of it was opening my business. I was able to achieve tiny little things, even if we had restrictions due to the old COVID and EndSARS.
I did set a goal and I achieved that goal. Even with the COVID and the EndSARS, I was able to maintain it and achieve it.
With the experience of 2020 and over the years, the people still perceive the New Year resolution as a good practice or an old school fantasy.
I've learned over the years not to make resolutions. I instead prefer to take each day as it comes, celebrate the small wins as well as the big wins. I found out that it helps reduce pressure to achieve goals, stick to resolutions.
You always set goals every January of every year. As far as you are a matured person, I did.
For some of us who actually did not have this
mindset of doing New Year resolutions. We just have targets that we keep aiming to achieve year in, year out. For me, no New Year resolution.
But notwithstanding the shortcomings of 2020, many are still hopeful that the year 2021 holds plenty of prospects than the previous years.
When it comes to 2021, if 2020 I taught us anything is that every year is not a given. We don't know what will happen. So let's just say I've carried on my New Year resolution of 2020 to 2021. I'm hoping for the best because this is a year of new beginnings.
There are some goals that I was planning to achieve last year, so I've already carried them over for this year. So let's see how it goes.
We'll look forward to 2021 that things will work out perfectly.
Though the coronavirus pandemic that blighted the hopes of 2020 is back again with a second wave, there is perhaps light at the end of the tunnel with the announcement of a new vaccine. But remember, that is never an excuse to throw caution to the wind. For KUFM's Extra Voices, Blessing Asekume.
And coming up the moment in entertainment news, Dr. Dre released from hospital after brain aneurysm. This and more on entertainment news. It's North News done on KU 92.7 FM, Benin City, in an entertainment story this morning. American rapper Dr. Dre has been released from hospital after suffering a brain aneurysm earlier this month. The music mogul was discharged on Friday and will be monitored 24 hours a day by medical professionals at his home. This is coming weeks after he was hospitalized after suffering a brain aneurysm. An aneurysm occurs when part of an artery wall weakens, allowing it to balloon out and widen abnormally. The music mogul was hospitalized on Monday, January 4th. In the early hours of Wednesday, January 6th, the rapper took to his Instagram page where he revealed that he was doing fine. And that's it from entertainment. In sports, Semi Ajayi scores with a header as West Brom beat Wolves in Black Country Derby. This and more on our Sports Bulletin. Nigerian defender Semi Ajayi scored with a fine header as West Bromwich Albion recorded their first win in the English Premier League under manager Sam Allardyce following 3-2 victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Moonooks on Saturday afternoon. Matheus Pereira gave West Brom the lead on 8 minutes, coolly slotting home from the penalty spot after Cote d'Ivoire forward Willy Bolly fouled Callum Robinson inside the box. The host equalized in the 38th minute through Fabio Silva, who slid the ball past goalkeeper David Button. Wolves took the lead for the first time in the game 2 minutes before the break, with Bolly prodding the ball into the net after West Brom failed to clear from a corner. The visitors remarkably turned things around after the break, with Ajayi looping home a header into the net in 52 minutes, which was his second for the Baggies this season. 4 minutes later, Pereira smashed in his second penalty of the game to make it a 3-2 after Robinson was fouled by Conor Cody. West Brom stay in 19th position with 11 points, 3 adrift of safety. Wolves are now without a win in their first 5 league games, stay in 14th position. Elsewhere, Brighton and Hove Albion defeated Leeds United 1-0 away, while West Ham United beat Burnley 1-0 the Olympic Stadium. And Aston Villa manager Dean Smith has won the English Premier League Manager of the Month award following the club's 5-game unbeaten run in December. The 49-year-old beat Everton boss Carlo Ancelotti, Burnley counterparts Sean Daesh and Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to win the award. Smith saw his side pick up 3 victories and record 2 draws as the club finished 2020 in 5th place in the Premier League table. The West Midlands outfit scored 8 goals during the final month of the last calendar year, including successive 3-0 victories over Crystal Palace and West Bromwich Albion, respectively. And that's it from sports, and that's the news. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Edo school resumption postponements to include higher institutions. President Buhari appoints Brigadier General Buba Mawa to head NDLEA. And federal government to establish 6 new modern custodial facilities. Do remember that to continue the unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at www.kufm.net or download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We are also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria, and you can also listen to us on RadioGarden.com. KFM's News Dawn was produced by Lebedum Asagwaram. I am Omoyo Gwede saying thanks for listening. Good morning.